Guys, welcome to the Lyran Connection. I am your host, Alexander John. Doug, Tara, hey everyone. We're going to jump right into it. This is episode 8 of the Lyran Connection. The last time we spoke was actually around the time of March 17th. And it's gotten even crazier. You can't even make this stuff up. The amount of, especially within the last 48 hours, the amount. I'm going to first do a mic check. Can you guys hear me good? Everyone hear me good? Give me a thumbs up or tell me if you can hear me. Check, check, check. 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 Can you guys hear me? Awesome. All right, guys. So, where we left off on episode 7, we were interrupted, knocked off a few times. Now, I was told by others who have been doing shows and things like that, that it's not necessarily means that maybe I was taken down by others. It could be the platform. It could be the amount of people. With my personal experience from all the different shows and different things that I've had a guest little spot on, or things wind up going haywire. So, what I hope to do is get the message out tonight before the transmission ends. Now, if the transmission does end for any reason, I'm going to jump back on, or attempt to jump back on, and I'll label it as part 2, part 3, or how many times I'm knocked off the air. The good news is we have a lot of juicy material, but it doesn't span months. It just spans, within the last couple weeks. Kind of give you a brief catch-up of what has happened. We talked prior that we were noticing and filming and taking images of light ships that were in a triangle formation around the house here. Those were the Lyran forces. They were a lot lower and closer to the ground and visible due to threats to me personally from multiple bad ET and terrestrial, let's just say, forces. Ningizida was one of them, reptilians, and Dark Fleet forces. I will jump right into it and tell you, phenomenally, last night we were able to not only observe with witnesses a TR-3B dark black triangle that went right over my home. There were multiple of them. We only caught one of them. And at the same time, the Lyran forces contacted me as well and gave me an image and a message to confirm that those were Dark Fleet forces, enemies, and that those targets have been acquired and they were engaged. And we'll go into it. So going back to the end of episode 7, Ningizida and its fleet were coming in to our solar system off of Titan. There was a relay station that pinged that this fleet was incoming. The 3 light ships that were guarding me went to intercept. They were disabled. The sister ship of the Soltraxi, which is like a battleship, was en route to not only help the ones that were disabled, but to come and aid in my defense. We learned that there were forces of the Ningizida troop fleet that were able to break free and actually get towards the ground and get on the ground. We know that there was a Brazilian incident, and I have it confirmed here in contact that there was an incident, that the Brazilian fleet is somehow tied into the same time frame of when the Ningizida forces were actually coming close to the Earth. There was an engagement, and we're going to go ahead and pick up on May 22nd of this year at 1:11 a.m. So 1:11 a.m. I received a message, and the message is as follows. The restored signal interruption to you. I give thanks, AJT. That's my name, Alexander John Tulloch. Nicholas of Lyra. There's the hybrid code. You have commended the Tripitarian Plataea, ranked among the generals and promoter, and the moon shall not in the second. The works has strong leadership and warn Ningizida soldier fierce resistance follows. Find favor with you, and what is your goal? Along with that message, I received an image. This image is a little bit older than myself, than currently now. That is a clone. That is not me, but it is confirmed as a clone. The question I asked was this. At 6:45 a.m., I asked, all lines were taken over by Ningizida. Are you all okay? I was told we took losses. Is this true? Why does my face look distorted and seem off in the image? To me, the image shows me on this ship. It's an image of me, but the face looks a little distorted. And I did receive a response on May 22nd at 11:46 a.m. And they stated, the degenerated tissue, the cDNA clone, incredible ambassadors, general, he won the first attack. So they're saying, and there's the message, they're saying that this image, that this clone of me won that attack against the Ningizida forces, and that the reason why, if anything doesn't look right, it is the degenerated tissue of that clone of myself. I said, thank you for your quick reply. May I see an image of how clones are created, please? Because I'm like, hey, that would be interesting, right? Where was he based out of? And is that a ship or base in the background of that image? Do the clones have souls? I wanted to know that. I await your response. Thank you. And I had one of the people that come on here, they asked me to ask a question on a personal basis to the Lyrans. I've never done that before. So on their behalf, I'll leave that part out, but I did ask a question for them to see if they would answer that question. And that's, for right now, that's private until I can go a little bit deeper into it and find out if there, but so far there hasn't been a response on that question. On Saturday, May 23rd, I asked, are you available? Because I did not receive a response. On the 24th, which is Sunday, May 24th, I asked, what is our status update? Thank you. No response. 9:49, I said hello. And then I received code. Now this code was a different trip line. And if we go into episode 7, when Ningizida's fleet came in, they overtook all the encrypted lines that I have of communications with all these different extraterrestrials over all these years of building all these lines up, encrypted lines, where I have multiple races, mainly the Lyrans, but multiple races making contact with me, that the Ningizida forces overtook those lines. Well, those lines were taken back after the battle, and I did receive that coded line. Normally, in this, and I posted this on the Lyran Connection, normally these numbers are usually a hex number where you can break it into AC2 and then you can break it into like binary or Latin. You can break it into a language. And I've gotten used to doing this over many years. I, for whatever reason, cannot break this code. That line, I said Latin, please. I do not understand. And please resend in binary or Latin, please. Thank you. We know that Latin and binary are, in this Milky Way and the Andromeda, are used very much as a form of communication throughout many different races. We know that is confirmed from many extraterrestrials. On the 26th, I asked, are you there? Now, I did receive an image, and the image was of this. I posted it on the Lyran Connection. It is definitely armor combat. It's the same ship style as the one before, with that cDNA clone general who won that battle. The message that came along with this on May 27, 2020 at 3:57 a.m. was, "To war, Dory Sans." Now here's the thing. Now I had Dory Saint La in the previous in a previous many years ago from the Lyrans, but I never had a Dory Sans, so I was unfamiliar with that terminology. To war, Dory Sans. I asked, to war with whom? Is there a clone under that armor? Is this a ground troop? What system are you currently in? I await your response, thank you. On May 30th, on my birthday, I stated, because I had that, I said, it is my birthday today. I wanted to see if they recognized it or they're going to say anything. No response, but on June 1st at 12:05 a.m., I did receive one word in Latin. It was falsa, which means false. So I wasn't sure if they were saying false about my birthday or false about is there a clone under that armor? But all they said was false. I said, why are you saying it's false? Which question did you answer? Thank you. Are you there? You stated false in regards to what? Please give me a full status update on the war. Thank you. I await your response. Thank you. Can you confirm an incident that took place over Brazil with a downed ship earlier in the month of May? Now, on Saturday, there was a big, on Coast to Coast, if anyone follows Coast to Coast, there was Jimmy Church was doing a whole thing about the military chatter and a lot of the videos and information that was coming out of Brazil about an incident with the same time frame of the Ningizida incident, coincidentally, of craft that were taken down. There was firefighting within Brazil. It was believed Machi. There was a video with gunfire and a lot of other things going on. That was all shut down. The media totally stopped reporting on anything, and then they started putting out videos that was almost kind of like a disinformation campaign where they were totally squashed. The United States Space Force got involved. So that whole thing was a hush-hush. It was the same time frame, though, as when the Lyrans engaged with the Ningizida fleet. And it's just the same week. It's the same set of days. And so I asked that question. Can you confirm an incident that took place over Brazil in a downed ship earlier in the month of May? And then at 9:26 p.m. on June 1st, Monday, I said, I just saw a ship. Was this you? And then what I saw was I have my normal routine in the evening. I was with Julia. We were out back where I was having some coffee, catching up on news, reading. I saw a white coming in on the back side of my house. So this was actually coming in from the south, heading towards the east. It was curving. It was white, solid, no noise. I didn't even get an image of it. Julia saw it, I saw it. And I asked, I just saw a ship, was this you? On June 1st at 9:54 p.m., that same day, that night, contact stated the pod was Ningizida. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard of a ship or anything being called a pod. So it said the pod was Ningizida. So what we saw wasn't the Lyran forces. It was one ship. It was a pod, and it was Ningizida. We know earlier, a lot of Ningizida's troops and soldiers were taken out earlier in the past few weeks. So Ningizida is still out here. I responded with, I thought this problem was taken care of. At 9:57, I said, the pod was in Brazil, or was the pod over me? Referring to that pod, at that time I was, things are happening in real time. So I'm asking questions. I didn't receive, it could be an escape pod, right? And that one's trapped down here. At 9:30 on June 2nd, I said, I await your response, thank you. At 9:37 a.m., I didn't hear anything still. At 11:48 a.m., I said, am I still in danger? At 9:50 p.m., here's where it gets crazy. This is last night. Let me take sitting on the back, having coffee with Julia, reading. Now the moon is in the front of my 2-story house, so I can see, and the sky is clear, totally clear, and I can see the stars, and I'm just going to describe it, and then I'll just show it to you. The pictures give no justice because I posted it on the Lyran Connection, but hey, what's going on, Rob? When we're sitting there, when you take a phone and you go and take a picture, it has no justice of what you're actually seeing. So where the roof of my house ends, it looked like a star destroyer. It really did. You see the tip of this triangle. It's 4 or 5 tree lengths up. It looks like it's actually like, okay, here's the bottom of the screen. Here's the tip of it. It's coming like this. I'm looking up and I'm seeing this thing growing. And then, of course, it cut off. It's a triangle. And it was literally moving probably 15, 20 miles an hour. I mean, super slow. No noise. I did the best I could with taking pictures. There was a white light on each tip of the triangle. In the center, it glowed pretty big red, but every like 40 seconds or so, 30, 40 seconds, it would glow slowly red and then fade, and it glided over, right? And I'll show you on here what that picture looked like to my best of what I could do with a camera. And then what you're seeing back here is you're seeing stars here and here, but now that's moving, so it's kind of giving that trail effect. But I have another one where you can actually see, there's the red light on this one. It's starting to glow red in the center. Now, when that was happening, I said, oh my goodness, that is definitely the closest TR-3B, closest triangle craft I have ever seen to me, that close, directly right over my head. And I immediately it took forever to go off, and we filmed it, we took pictures, all kinds of stuff, right? So I immediately asked Contact hey, do you know any information on this? My exact words were, I just saw a black triangle craft fly super low over my home. And then immediately I received an image back from Contact. The image was the one I put onto the site. It was actually this. So they sent this back. This is exactly like, this is up in the air now. This is a different angle, but that's the triangle ship. And they stated in Latin, we have acquired targets. So that, number one, tells me not only did I see the triangle, and I know I saw it because I could see it, I have a witness, we took pictures of it. They're saying there's more than one, plural, targets. We only saw one triangle craft. And it had a humming electrical sound to it too. It was like a hum electrical, and it was slow. I was so fixated on that, I did not see the second one or other ones. But the Lyrans say, we have acquired targets. Now let's break this down. Normally a black triangle is a terrestrial secret space program craft. Now within the space program, I don't know about currently right this second, but we know from the past, going all the way back from World War II all the way up into the present, the Navy was usually associated with the Nordics, working alongside extraterrestrials in SAPs and special access projects where they were working on exchanging technologies and working on, and the Air Force was working with the Draco Reptilian, working with the Dark Fleet. And normally the triangles are usually associated with the Dark Fleet triangle, where the TR-3Bs, they're SAPs out west. So those things out east over me, and if the Lyrans are confirming them as targets, I would assume that those were reptilian and terrestrial agents, black hats, not white hats, Dark Fleet, that were, I don't know if they were about to engage with me, especially with all the Ningizida stuff that's been going on, but they were definitely over my home. They were definitely making themselves known, and the Lyrans were definitely aware of their presence, and because right after that happened, we saw white colored ships, which the Lyrans are calling the light ships or light warships, except the pattern on one of these ships was different than the rest. Normally they'll come in, they'll swoop, and they'll arc. This one was actually going like this. Picture a wavelength, exactly like that, but sideways, and they were going in that direction towards the northeast, towards, because that's where the triangle was going, towards the Atlantic Ocean. This thing came in from the southeast and curved, and it was doing this. It was perfectly, not way over here and then way over here or short. It was perfect. It was woo 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 woo, like going without the noise, not the woo woo woo, but, and it was curving towards the direction of those. So I'm assuming they were engaged, and I don't know what happened at that point. I have not received any information, but what I did receive is, I asked this question. I said, what are the targets at 10 o'clock last night? Is that the target, or is that you? Because things are happening fluid. We saw the triangle. We saw them. I know that the triangles usually tend to be Dark Fleet. So then I said, is that target, or is that target you? It just flew over my home, my house. Haven't received a response until I made a post. I was saying, I'm going to do a show now because I need to go over all this information. I mean, we got images of the TR-3B from the Lyrans. We got the images from me from the TR-3B. We have the images of the like robot android to war with, and the inside of those ships. So we have some information since episode 7, so we're on episode 8. Then, what is it, an hour and a half ago, I received that. I just posted it, and I'll pull up the image for you guys to see yourself. The images of, let me pull it up right now. And I just did my due diligence of like updating the book and all that jazz. So this thing pops up on my phone, and this image, I did it through TinEye. This image is not found anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of detail. This definitely appears to be a skyscraper of some sort. It almost looks like there are ships parked down here, elongated ships. This is definitely a base. The message that came along with this came in Latin, and the message is as follows. And I'll just show it. The moon, the birds of the axis of the arms of the land of the fleet under the base to prepare a vector. Illustration be reestablished even under the power of the Lyri to the aqueduct of. So I don't get a lot from that. We know it's a moon. It's definitely very detailed and large. There's definitely a fleet there. You could tell there is underground aspects of it. They referenced under the power of the Lyri. So Lyra has control and power of that base. Now, we just recently got a moon base from Lyra on our moon. And I shared that as well with you, and I'll share it again right here. We recently got this one of that base. This base is definitely not the base that I just got. To be honest with you, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. That's where we've left off. What I asked is this. I asked, is this on Earth's moon? What happened with the black triangles from last night that went over the home? What exactly am I looking at in this image, and what do you call this place? Who lives in this image? I await your response. Thank you. And that brings us to 5:40 p.m. It is now 7:44 p.m. So it's 2 hours and 4 minutes ago was last contact from extraterrestrials, which were the Lyrans. These guys are good guys. For those of you who don't know, the Lyrans consider and say I was created 1,000 years before my body. I was here for these end times and the final battle of kings, and that I am a prince of Lyra under the house of kings of the house of Nicholas, and I'm here for these times. I have less than 10 years before I go back. That's all I know, and I'm preparing for the future. I say that in every episode because people ask, and they ask me privately, and I have to tell them. Not that I have to tell them, I want to tell them, because in the last year I was green-lighted that I needed to start talking about all this information that I have, because I have all this and a whole nother book of contact, and to go over into a summary as we go around the sun and as our seasons change, more windows open up to contact new races. I'm currently at 30 races of different extraterrestrials, good, bad, and indifferent, neutral. There is a galactic federation. There is a dark fleet. There most of the planets in our solar system, in some way or form or capacity, have life. A lot of it's underground. There are many bases. Here's where it's getting crazy. I typically have seen many ships before, but I have not seen the amount of ships recently ever this close, especially ships that I know that are not aligned with some of these extraterrestrial races that make contact with me. And I have literally engagements happening over my home and chases because of different forces that are at play. They say that a lot of these elites on this planet know who I am. Most of the planet doesn't even know who I am at all. I'm barely even have a channel. I'm on episode 8. But the people who in the know or the people who have power, and they know who I am. Most of you guys, you don't even know who I am. I'm just discovering who I am. But this goes back a while and a ways. So you have literally now Lyrans guarding me and engaging with other craft. That's how hairy it's been getting. I mean, I've got now black triangles, I've got Ningizida pods and ships and other creatures and reptilians that have threatened me, that want to kill me. And some people ask, well, why don't they just vaporize you? Well, they want me in person because of my bloodline. Not the bloodline you're thinking of with the cabal and deep state and all that kind of stuff. This universe, there's a lot going on. Just like on Earth there is, they say in heaven. Well, it's true. There are kingdoms up there. Rob says, tell them to send you a weapon to protect yourself. I know, right? That's what I say a lot. I wish it's kind of like Star Wars. I wish like a pod would just like hit into my backyard and then like I open it and there's like, oh, there's my suit and there's my stuff. Man, I am gracious and humble for the images and the messages I do receive. I have received technology blueprints and things of that nature, but I have not received any hardware. Tell them to come pick me up and do a flyby of the solar system. That's what I want. Peace and love, right? We all go and go explore. That would be amazing. Or contact me too. Yes, so you bring up a good point, Rob, because there are others. I'm not this special person that just gets contact. There are many people who receive contact. I was told there are 12 others like myself. I don't know if they're princes or princesses or other things. I am told there are 12 people that get intense contact. I don't know if they're like, my style is to, and this has been going on so long, I'm methodical about it. I read everybody's stuff, of course, and I try to find these gold nuggets of information that matches my information because my stuff is so unique in itself. Some of it's the same, but some is so out there. But the thing is that I literally will get the information, the best thing that I can do for humanity, because one day I won't be here. One day this information will be either a treasure or in a museum. Everything is chronologically dated and printed in order in the translations. Everything that I scribe is taken from the message. I don't channel this. I receive it, and I copy the message exactly to the T to the best of my ability, and I translate to the best of my ability. I have basically 3 volumes worth of material from 30 different races. I have not published yet. If I could, that'd be great. The only reason why I'm going full blazes ahead is because I've been green lighted to. I've been threatened in the past. Let me see. Hey everybody, behind the Rob. Okay, so yes, that's what I really wish. Rob, speaking to you and what you said. If I'm a prince and I have all, why can't you just land, we'll have a cup of tea, or give me some equipment, but they're watching. They're watching this. Everything you think, say, and hear is known. When you leave, what happens to your family? Do they go too? Yeah, man, that's another thing. So I was supposed to go last August. Like, we're going to do future episodes, and I'm going to go break open the old contact. There was a time where I didn't have this platform to start talking to people where there's a record of everything. I have it all in chronological order. I was supposed to go during this time frame for 10 years and come back. But then, since I missed that opportunity, I have less than 10 years before I go. What happens to my family? I hope everyone gets to go. The flagship Soltraxi can hold a lot, but some of these craft can't. I know the one when I was supposed to go in Bermuda could only hold me. That was off the coast of Bermuda. The Lyrans have a underwater, under ocean base for thousands of years off the coast of Bermuda. They also have a base off of Moon. They have a relay station off of Titan, and then of course in the Vega system. And I'm discovering new stuff all the time. Like tonight, what base is that? Where is that located? I don't know. I know it says under the control of the Lyri, so I don't know where that is. It's because we have the moon base just recently, so this might be on an asteroid, another moon. If you ask them to say hello to me, I think they would actually do it? Serious question. Yeah, I have people starting to ask me to ask them things, and I'm more than open to. The worst that they're going to say is no or not respond. They've told me no. Looks like our moon. It possibly could, Doug. It could be our moon. It is very detailed and large, though. It's larger than the base that we got before, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It appears like almost like an overhead view. I mean, that one building in the front, I'm going to pull it up. It looks like a skyscraper. It's huge. And then in the background, it almost looks like an airport where it has like cylinder cigar-shaped ships docked at it. Now, what I do is I get these pictures blown up and sent to me. But I mean, if you look here, where my middle finger is right here, that's definitely like a skyscraper. And then like right here, it looks like an airport. You know how like you have different things that dock to it? It looks like cylinder type cigar ships. Maybe they got permits to expansion, right? But look at that. Look at the detail. You can't make this shit up. Excuse me, I said shit. But yeah, I did. But it takes a lot to shock me. Especially when you have a black triangle flying over your head. And I saw the red light. When it cleared, I'm telling you, here's the bottom of the screen. When it cleared the roof and it looked like a Star Destroyer, that's the first thing I thought of, like Spaceballs or like Star Wars. I was like, it was clearing the roof and I'm like, it's still coming. What is that? And I'm like, it's a triangle. And it was. When that red light went off, and it was real slow and it started to grow, I said, I'm done. This is it. The party's over. And Julia's sitting there and she's like, literally after she saw the Lyra ship, the white one that came in, she said, I had enough tonight. She said, I had enough. And then when the Lyrans actually sent me the image of the triangle, she was like, that's enough. So I had to go lay down after that because I don't get scared anymore. So I'm like, in the beginning, I used to get scared about stuff, but I don't fear it because there's so many elements at play, and if they're going to do what they're going to do, so I'm just like, I got to rest my mind. Not human architecture. Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely not human architecture. The theme music, The Empire. Yeah. You know what's crazy is, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Star Wars. I think it's so cool. I'm not going to lie. I like Star Wars, right? And I used to, with my best friend, we used to joke around a lot. But from what Contact has said, there's Star Wars in like Star Trek. It's very similar to what's really going on out there. It's not too far-fetched at all. The volume just turned off on me. Yeah, we're about due for getting cut out and turned off and weird crap. The good news is, here's the good news, we're caught up. Any contact that I receive, let me just double check, is gravy. Yeah, Star Wars is pretty awesome. There is a war out there, on a serious note, for millions of years. Millions of years. Now, supposedly Star Wars is really basically based off of the Orion Wars. Okay, so you have the reptilians and you have the Dracos. You have good Dracos and bad Dracos. And you have the reptilians, and then you have the tall white ones, and they work with the Fourth Reich and the Nazis who escaped out of World War II. There's so much going on that we're actually living in the past. It's like a movie. Get me out of here. I want a lightsaber and everything. Yeah. Another thing that I've noticed is that pretty much anything that you can imagine can be created or crafted. So that kind of scares me. I mean, you might have a lightsaber for 2 seconds and might create a hole in your ship and you get sucked through or you implode. So I don't know if how well that all would work out. There is so much going on, guys. There is so much. I just want these. We are also living in the future and the past, my Lyran brother. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I would have never thought it would be at where we're at right now, especially with all like the contact that we receive and the amount of information. You would think that if this was a peaceful world and everyone had goodwill and intentions, not trying to be like a billionaire or anything or famous, but I should be on some major council for this planet because these are serious races and beings that are this is serious stuff going on. That's why I'm trying to preserve the material as best I can, because eventually something will probably either happen to me or I disappear or something, but this work will, you can't even see it. I have tons and tons, hundreds and hundreds of people's works. I highly suggest, if you want to read any material, Dr. Michael Salla. Amazing material. He's right on the money. You want to learn about what happened at the end of World War II and then how it progressed in these different programs and stuff. Dr. Michael Salla's works. He's got like 5 on the secret space program. My wife's uncle, he started the SETI program, Dr. Philip Morrison. He was also MJ-12 with Carl Sagan and different stuff. But I'm not affiliated with him. I mean, he's passed away and stuff. It's just ironic that some of the things he wrote in some of his private letters and books about the binary, I just happened to get binary communications. And this started back in, I've been having weird things my whole life, but 2013 is right when I started getting severe contact, me and my best friend, and things that haven't come to pass, that comes to pass in the future. We'll get information that hasn't come to pass, and it will come to pass. And I have it documented and recorded, and that'll be forever in history. I mean, look how thick this is. This is the master contact list has grown tremendously year after year as it goes through the. Look at all that. It continues. Now you also have terrestrial agents that mess around. Because we receive contact, you have multiple countries, United States, Israel, Russia, China, either will try to give disinformation or will try to break these encrypted lines, or they'll fly over, like that triangle last night. That was that was definitely Dark Fleet. That was definitely terrestrial type craft. It was either, and those craft typically work with the reptilians and the Air Force. Now, supposedly Trump, he's got Space Force, it's getting more public. A lot of these things have merged together, and a lot of these black hats are starting to disappear. But some of these assets still have control over some of this equipment, and there are SAPs, these black projects that still have control over some of these equipments, whether it's submarines or anti-grav, free energy. The LOC's up there, the Lunar Operation Command, that's a base. I mean, if everyone thinks that we just went from horseback to cars and then rockets in the 60s and we're still playing with rockets, you're in fantasy land. A lot of things have been invented, but they've all been top secret or classified or put away and slowly released. You're in the past. You think you're in the cutting edge, but they're so far ahead of what you think. And they're just releasing some of this. So I know that was terrestrial above us. But they also work with, we've made deals with other races out there. Now, I just happen to be affiliated with the Lyrans because they say I'm a prince and I come from Lyra and I was sent here. It's a hard to swallow, but I've seen enough proof. I've got a lot of weird things with my visions and a lot of other things that come to pass. And the amount of contact that I do receive from all sides. Some people go, oh, I've been abducted by Greys, or I've seen this. And I'm not discrediting that. But I have everybody. I have insectoids. I have reptilians. I have Nordics. I have clones and aquatic type amphibious beings. I have Ebens that have contacted me. Greys have contacted me. You name it. There are some that I have not received. So this is where we're at. You guys have any questions for me, since we're literally caught up? I know I thought it was going to be longer because I'm like, every time something happens like that, like the triangle, that I'm like, this could be my last, whatever's going to transpire or happen. But at least these are documented recordings for history. I think, to me, it's for history. It's for mankind. I'm not making any money. I'm putting money into this stuff to be able to print pictures and write and ledger into books, all this stuff that I have to record. I haven't made any money off of anything. I'm telling all this for free because I was told to. I'm not. It'd be nice one day to be able to publish and have this stuff just so I could break even. But I need to get this out. The information is far more important than that. There is a war. It's almost here. It's almost to the surface. They said it's going to be on the surface. There'll be blackouts. There's going to be a lot going on. People are going to be scared. And there's going to be people who are going to have to lead and explain the details about who to trust and who not to trust in these different races. And some of these races look like you and me, and you wouldn't be able to tell if they walked down the street. You would think they're just another person. And they're extraterrestrial. You would not believe how many extraterrestrials look like human beings. People have no idea. You have no idea. No idea. I am humbly grateful to be able to receive the amount of... I have, over 200-300 images that are not from this planet. And for whatever reason, I am an older... There's clones of me out there. You'll see in the future. Time will tell. I don't want to be all Debbie Downer or anything they call it, whatever, on this episode, but I feel good that I got the image out. The information out. I'm just waiting on some of these images to come in now, that within the last 24, 48 hours, and I'm glad I have witnesses that see what I'm seeing. I can't discredit anybody else in their missions or who they are. For real. I want to trust and believe everybody, from Dr. Greer to Corey Goods to you name the person, on the researcher. Only thing I say is I really, really hope, and anyone who's talking about this kind of information, I really hope you're just not making it up. My experiences, what I have received, what I have seen, and what things that have transpired that were told that they were going to happen, it's real. I wouldn't waste my time, effort. I wouldn't put that, you know what kind of karma that is, to be able to make up something and deceive millions of people about information that you, I don't know, honestly, if there's anyone that's doing any of that or misleading people, I don't know how they could do it. I don't know how without the ramifications of what comes with that. I want to clearly, I don't know how much time I have. I know I have less than 10 years before I leave, but timelines can change. I could be eliminated tonight. But at least you got the most current, you'd be like, that guy, I don't know who that guy was. Did you hear about it? This happened to him. But did you see all that and read that, and this is to the, I'm just linking puzzle pieces. I'm not on a side other than I am on the Lyran side. It's where I come from, and they take out a lot of bad, creepy. You should see some of these things, scary stuff, very scary stuff, and you should be praying or whatever you believe in every day that you can take another breath and be here, because there are dark, evil, bad things out there. And not only are they coming, they're here and they're on the ground. And I'm warning people that they're here. They're disguised. They can cloak like the predator. They can look like people. You have no idea what is on this planet. You have no idea what has been going on for such a long time. So I'm not here to try to fear or scare you. I just want you to be more aware and be humble and hush more and listen and have ears to hear, because there are things coming, and it's going to get worse. Don't get fooled by these elite people who they're just manipulating everybody. And this whole planet, that's all they've been doing is sick. It's sick, the things that they've been doing. It's disgusting. It's all coming to light. It's almost here. Stay positive. And yeah, I seen the cloak ability on ground. I'm just saying. Yeah, Doug has had many experiences, and there's a lot of there are a lot of witnesses out there for a lot of stuff. Some of it's our stuff, terrestrial technology. Just a lot of stuff is off-world. This is a garden planet. Remember that. Not a lot. One of these days I'll take you around. I'll show you all these pictures. A lot of worlds are desert and desolate and bases and stuff, and they have to do a lot of things indoors and a lot of things import export. We actually live on a planet that has, we're not the only planet, but this is one of, and I get a lot of planets and moons. This is one of few that you have things going on here that you need to take care of and not pollute and destroy, because eventually what's going to happen is it's just going to be reset like it always has. Every age there's a reset, and then there's a new age. We're at the end of an age. Some say we are in the new age. We're in Aquarius. We're this, that. No. You'll see. It's getting close, because these things are in the sky and they're getting closer and there's more interactions. But we're right on the cusp before the new age, before it really begins. And this has all been preparation for it and how you're going to be able to get through it. I know I didn't want to get all deep on this because we had more time than I thought, because we ended. I don't want to just start busting up into old contact. But there are a lot of races that are like I will say the Anunnaki. Like, people keep saying, I don't know why people say that's not real. That's real. I have confirmed contact. That's a real race. That the Anunnaki are real, whether you believe in their ideology or not, or this or that, or that's real. That's just that's a drop in a bucket of, like Palladians. Everyone thinks, oh, they're all great. All the Nordics are good. No, there's good and bad in everything. Even on Lyra, there's strife. I don't even the Dracos, there are good, believe it or not, there's good Dracos and bad Dracos. The Reptilians, I don't know anything good. That's one I can say is like, there's not anything good coming out of that. The Insectoids, another one. They have their own thing. They just want to colonize and conquer. There are so many races that are, there's civil strife within. Oh, they're perfect, they're advanced, and they all live in harmony. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. They just don't. The Lyrans have 3 under their command. The Syrians, the Galvarics, the Elohim, and the Lyrans themselves. And that's all I know. Under the House of the Kings of Light. And they even told me the sector from like East Elk to Cassiopeia. Well, you got things coming in from Andromeda, not just good, but also bad. Invasion forces. We either need to disclose and get technologies to get us up to par and defeat this evil on this planet, or we're all done. I am really surprised I haven't been cut off yet. So this is actually pretty cool. So this is episode 8. I know I haven't got anything updated on YouTube. I'm going to have Julia do that. I am a tech nonsense kind of guy. Like, I'm not a tech guy. But I will get all that stuff up to date. So we'll get up to episode 8 up on there. And then anytime you guys have any questions or anything that you want to shoot at me, I'm always available in a sense. I mean, I'm doing house stuff and kids and stuff I have and to do, but this is what I do. I'm on a mission, and I support everyone on the light side. So I wish everyone safe and be safe and peace. And sometimes I wish I could just get off the planet and get out of here. It's too much. It's too crazy. When you have triangles and reptilians and Ningizitas flying over your house and threatening you, you can't make this stuff up, man. Keep your eyes peeled. Look to the sky. You're going to see stuff. You never know what you're going to see. So I'm a little nervous when the sun starts to go down, but then that fear melts away, and I think about, there are a lot of ones that are rooting for me and who are protecting me, and I just have to stay strong. Even if it's a bad guy, calm down. Even if you can't, some of them don't eat and drink and stuff. Because let's sit down and be civil. Let's have a conversation. What is it you want? What is it you need? Thank you for sharing this vital information. It's imperative for our survival. And thank you, VJ. And thank you for everyone who's supported me through all this craziness. And guys, I wouldn't lie and deceive and make this stuff up. Like, it's gonna be so in your face you can't hide it. You're gonna remember these type of transmissions if you watch them and go, okay, all I gotta do is be positive and stay, no matter what. Remember, even if they kill you, this physical body is just the first. It's the first step. Your soul is what's next. Just be a good person. Do the right thing. That's it. It's easy to be bad. It's easy to do bad stuff. That's the trap. And the reptilians been housing that trap for a long time. And they use that and they feed off of that and fear and all kinds of sick, twisted stuff. Screw all that. Be a good person. Do the right thing. Do the best that you can. And await contact. Always look up. My best friend always said that. Always look up. It's true. You look up and you see. I'm just still tripping over last night. That it looked like a Star Destroyer coming over my house. I said, it's over. It's done. And I saw the red light. It was like it was growing. And I'm like, oh, here we go. What are you going to do? And then it just faded. It was just part of. But it didn't do anything. I don't know why they didn't do anything right then and there. But at the same time, the Lions were coming in. Targets acquired. You're locked and loaded. We got you on target. They must have been like, uh-oh. Imagine. Guys, that's what happened. The Lions identified it before I did. I sent it to them, and they're like, yep, we already, targets acquired. We already got them. And then I saw them coming in. And then doing that wave pass. Those guys had to have been shitting their pants. I mean, honestly, because that's terrestrial advanced technology, but that is far beyond there. They knew what was coming. There's no escape. You're done. You're done, son. Toast. What must your neighbors think? I think the majority of people are so oblivious to their lives that their 9-to-5 life of it's not even on their radar. Even when it flies over, they're just like, that's I don't even think it registers. Honestly, they're not awake. They're just not. And that's the crazy part. You have all this going on, even without me doing a show but just, okay, a triangle craft. There was a guy next door. His name is Tony. He was next door. Do you think he noticed a triangle craft coming in? He probably was like, oh, that must have been the Air Force coming in for a landing. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I can't judge. All I can know is I'm well aware. And Julia is well aware because of all of my contact and all my stuff. Most people are not aware. They just don't see or hear. They're too busy like, where's the next riot? What's going on? How am I going to get controlled today? And, uh-oh. Let me see. Something. Uh-oh. No joke, guys. This is a first. I got contact as we're on here live. No joke. Hold on. Give me a moment. Guys, right now, as we're speaking, this transmission, contact. This is what they sent me. One image. That is all. That is definitely the moon. And I'm looking at this for the first time with you. That is definitely a ship. This is live. This is right now. This is happening in your face. What the hell is that? Is that an asteroid ship or something? Hold on. Let me save this. And I have to thank them. Wow. Save. See? Like Dorothy's red shoes, hold tight to your soul. It must be very powerful for them to want it so badly. Look at this. You can't make this shit up. I'm sorry, I said shit. Okay, so right now, let's be logical. The time is 8:18 p.m., June 3rd. I asked, thank you, can you tell me about this image? Just quickly. This is definitely over the moon. The moon has now been out lately. It is on the light side of the moon. This is definitely a craft. I'm going to show you again. I'll actually post this on the Lyran Connection. So, okay, there's the moon. Yo, is that a base right there? Hold up. Let me zoom in on that. Where is that crater? Right there. So I'll investigate that. But definitely up here is definitely a ship. And what is the... Oh, those are stars. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. I've never seen a craft like that. It definitely is a craft. Is that coming towards us? Is that a meteor? I mean, a huge asteroid? We might be in some shit tonight. Wait a minute. Doug, so listen to this. If that is currently right now, that means that's like right next to the moon, which means the sun is setting, which means the moon's going to be out, which means that thing's going to be visible if it lets itself be visible. But that's a lot of light coming off of that thing. That is a lot of light. And that crater on that moon looks very familiar. That is definitely our moon. I'm gonna have to do some research. So that's just right now. Sorry guys, I just got thrown off of my game. 8:18 p.m. Man, I think some shit's going down tonight. The triangle last night. They sent, I think, is this a manned station that they sent this close because of the engagements of these craft? That's monstrous in size to scale of the moon. And to have image of moon means another ship took the shot. Yeah. Guys, I think tonight, keep your eyes peeled. I think we're going to all see stuff tonight. I'm thinking. That just, it's kind of like caught me with my panties down. Or my underwear down. Like, you know the saying, like, I wasn't expecting that. So that means they're watching. They're listening to what I'm saying right now. I don't know what to say. Okay. Cool. I have a lot of research I need to do. Well, I mean, I can keep going, guys. We can just keep talking. But I need a document. So that's what I'll do. So this is what I do. Check it out. I'm going to close this. This is my ongoing manuscript. Put your panties up. Yeah. So I'm going to go through the process of what I do. I have many backups and I have safes and all kinds of stuff in case if I was ever... I got all kinds of stuff. Like in case someone takes all my stuff, or I'm waiting for the Men in Black or whatever, they show up or kiss my ass. I heard earlier today that there's another asteroid on the way here. It didn't say how close it was. Yeah, that's probably them. But there might be the Lyrans, because the Lyrans are probably getting sick of jumping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Every time there's a thing to protect, not saying it's about me, but to fight these dark forces and these different... They probably sent a manned asteroid base. That's probably the picture that we... Holy shit. That picture that I got earlier with the skyscraper and the thing, that's probably that. That is that. Yeah. That's that. It's arrived. It's a floating space station. That's what that is. It has to be, right? Doug, is that right? That's probably what it is, right? I mean, it makes sense. And they can dock all their... That's why the fleet. They can dock their fleet right there and just... Like an aircraft carrier. That asteroid is the aircraft carrier. So, anyways, let me document this. You guys are in real time. So this is historic in itself. So what I do is I pull out all my little tools. I take my master contact list. See, I got contact right. What's today? Today is the 3rd. So I go ahead and I mark right here 6-3. So 6. As fancy as I can, because maybe one day it's going to be historic. So 6-3-20. Boom. That book's done. Then I do that for my... Actually, my thing is on the other one. So I got to do it for those other ones that are underneath this platform that I'm filming on. I actually have other books. And then what I do is I take I mean, it totally could be. Yeah, no, seriously. I think it's an aircraft. It's basically an asteroid aircraft carrier that's holding all these ships because they're expecting more of this, and they can't have the resources to keep jumping back and forth to Vega. Excuse me. Let's see. Mercury is at its greatest eastern elongation. Yeah, that's wonderful. Nothing else with contact. I need to ask them something. Is that a mobile? Is that a mobile battle station? So then what I do is I take the book, and then I go ahead and I will make an entry, which then I take my pen, and then I have that, and then I write in it, today is Wednesday, so I put Wednesday. I'm just doing this live I'm just doing this one part real quick. I'm not going to do all of it. Wednesday, June 3rd, just for record, historically, 2020. The time of the transmission was 8:18. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and post that right there on the Lyran Connection right now as we speak with the device. So let me go ahead and create a post. Most recent image. And I'm doing that now. That is posted. And I said, what time was it? It was 8:18. Yeah, 8:18 p.m. So at 8:18 p.m. trip code 73438. One sec, guys. 57646. 57646. Holy shit, you know what I just realized? My last question was, may I see a closer image of this base in color? That was actually one of my my last questions. I'm just not up to date. So there it is. That's in color. That's the color of, because that's in color. And there, wow. Let me see how far I can zoom in on that. You can't make this stuff up. That is the best I can get. I will go ahead and have this image sent off. But that's it. That's the base. That's the base. And they're just responding to me in color. I mean, it totally could be, yeah. So guys, that was pretty cool, right? Got contact right on the air. Boom. And it's an awesome picture, and I can't wait to blow that one up. That one's going to look good. That's going to look really good. Did you guys check out the Lyran Connection? Did I posted it right? Is it up there? Because I did it on the fly since we're on the air live. Let's see if it popped up there. Who's got those images? Nobody's got those images. It's pretty cool. So, you guys have any questions for me? Because it looks like it's going to be a long night. I might be doing an episode 9 tomorrow night, depending on how tonight goes and what happens. Wish me luck. Hopefully, I don't get any kind of damage. If you looked at a lot of my clones and other images of me in the future, I get a lot of damage to my chin. I must take one right on the chin. But we'll see. I don't know. It is very cool, Tara. I'm so, you know what's crazy though? You know how you like, it's never enough? That's how I feel. I want more. I want more. I want what, like Rob said, I want a pod to come down. My equipment's on there. I get in my suit. I have my crew or my guardians and all that stuff. Let's do this. What do we got to do? What do we got to talk about? Let's talk it out, or do I need to knock some of these guys out? Yeah, my chin takes a beating. Tons of images where I get it across the chin. So I must, they're like, shut your mouth. Boom. But I get healed up pretty good, but each one's a little different. Am I still here? Wow, I started to get disconnected. Shit. Guys, episode 8. Amazing. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? Contact. Who can say that? They got contact while they're live. You don't want Ningizada's pod. Yeah, no. Yes, your picture posted. Yeah, Ningizada. Now this thing is written in ancient times. I don't think this thing can die. Unless from God himself or whoever. I don't think this thing can be... I think its soldiers obviously were taken out. But I think this thing... It's kind of like one of those things. It just doesn't... It's like a demigod. Like it just doesn't... Something else has to take it out. So I don't know. But I don't like that Ningizada floating around. It's mad because I didn't want to join forces with it years ago. I declined. Thanks. You can give me all the knowledge of the tree of knowledge, but guess what? That doesn't save my soul. It doesn't save my for eternity. So thanks, no thanks. So now it wants to kill me. Thank you. And now, hold up. Let's see what happens here. Nope, not contact. Yeah, I was advised I shouldn't curse. It does. That's not good. Sorry, you're right. I apologize about cursing. I got excited. And sometimes when I curse, it's because I got so excited, I lost control, and I don't know how to express myself sometimes. So I do apologize for those who have just corrected me on that. And sometimes we all need corrections in life, right? We're not perfect. We're here on this planet doing the best that we can. So before this gets any crazier, let me log off the air. Thank you for watching episode 8. I'll keep you in contact. I got to get these pictures sent off. That's a pretty awesome picture. And guys, keep your eyes to the sky, especially around the moon, and see if you see anything tonight. And if you catch something, send me an image, because it's probably that I'm going to call it the Lyran aircraft carrier until I get further notice, because that is actually pretty cool. They're like, you know what, we're tired of going back and forth. We're just going to go send this city-sized asteroid in. It's pretty awesome. No, thank you, Tara. See you. Stay safe. Yeah, I don't think they all are stars either. I think they are ships, and you're going to see that when you look out at night. If you see if it's not making noise, it's making irregular patterns, and there's no sound. It's solid. It's unblinking, and it's not following a smooth. It's probably a ship. And I appreciate A-Trucker. Some of you guys I don't know, I just meeting for the first time, so I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll get it all loaded up. I got like 3 or 4 episodes that have to be uploaded to YouTube. And we'll see how tonight goes. Wish me luck. Pray for me. But I think this battle's just begun, and I think we got a long way to go. But I think we're on the horizon of things happening right as we speak. Just as that came through as we were speaking, that image, they gave me a requested image in color of what is coming. And I think we have a battle station approaching Earth. And you know what that means? I don't think they're here to hand out candy. I think they're going to start mopping up some of these dark forces that have been controlling this planet for a long time. And the way it looks like on that asteroid or that city base, there look like a lot of the fleet, a lot of ships on that. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more. And hopefully I get an invite to go up there and eat some cool food and hang out and find out what's really going on. I don't know. I'm just hoping. But anyways, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. And as you know, stay safe out there and keep your eyes to the sky. And let me know if you see anything. I'll be in touch. Thanks. This is Alexander John signing off. Episode 8, The Lyran Connection. Thanks for watching, guys.